Hi everybody and welcome to Arts Administration Seminar Online for the fall quarter of 2015. I am Dr. Andrew Zitzer. I'm going to be your professor in this course and I wanted to just quickly walk you through the syllabus. So to begin, my contact information is above. I prefer email. I usually get back to you the same day. I'm not going to go through and read everything in the syllabus, but I wanted to just explain that seminar is the capstone course of the graduate program. It sets you up to successfully complete your thesis project. It is quite reading and writing intensive in order to prepare you to finish your graduate degree, and that you'll learn about mostly qualitative but some quantitative research methods and all of the elements that you need to create a proposal for your thesis that will allow you after this course to be able to go on and do the thesis work that you've proposed. So I'll let you on your own time read the course goals and the program objectives. These are things that we put into the syllabus just to help you understand. We've done a lot of thinking about what the course is designed to teach you. So moving on, I just wanted to talk about the required text, which hopefully you have by now. We use Turabian for writing research paper manual. It contains the Chicago style so that you know how to do your citations, even though if you're using Zotero, those citations will be automatically generated for you. We also use a research design book by Creswell that is very wonderful because it includes lots of examples of the kinds of things you're going to need. There are a lot of other readings also available for the course. You don't have to purchase them. They're on the BB Learn site under course materials. You should check out the course materials tab and make sure you can get to all of these readings early on in the quarter. In addition, we have something called the thesis community, which if you log into BB Learn, instead of clicking on courses, immediately to the right you click on community, and under community you should all be enrolled in the AADM thesis community. There's also a list of prior arts administration theses up on the university library website, and so you can check out some prior theses there if you're curious what a thesis looks like. We will be using bibliographic software to collect our references and to take notes, so I want you to use Zotero. Please install it through zotero.org with the Zotfile plugin, and in Unit 2 you'll find instructions for how to do all of that stuff, as well as on the thesis community. So for now, just try to download it, and if you have any trouble, we'll get into it in week 2. In terms of assignments, I'm very, very interested in your class participation. I do ask you to do 3 posts per week beginning on Saturday of each unit at noon, if not sooner. That's your class participation grade. And the problem statement and annotated bibliography are early in the term. Those are 25% of your grade, and then the final paper is 50% of your grade. But you should understand that that includes all of the revisions to the work that you've been doing all quarter. So it's really almost a portfolio in a way. Now, as I said, you will be required to do 3 discussion board posts per week per minimum. The first one is due on Saturday, and the second one should be a response. Second and third one should be a response to other people's posts. And you don't want to just say, I agree with what that person said. You want to make a substantive original contribution, and that you'll check in on the discussion board several times per week. There will be some weeks that have short reflection papers just to make sure you're thinking through what you're learning in the class. Those will be due on Tuesday at noon, or Tuesday at the end of the day on the week of that they're due. So there's 4 of those reflection papers. You can see the due dates here. They're also further down in the syllabus. Don't worry about whether they're due at noon or midnight. Just get them in approximately when I asked for them so I can review them before the next unit begins. These assignments that follow, we'll discuss them a lot in time as we get closer to them, but basically you're going to write a problem statement where you talk about the problem your research is designed to answer, and you can read through this paragraph to understand what exactly a problem statement contains. You will also do an annotated bibliography of at least 20 sources, which will be used in your final paper as a literature review. So you can read here what each bibliographic entry needs. It needs the citation information and then several sentences analyzing the article that you read or the book or the blog or whatever it is. You should start collecting these 4 articles per week in maybe week 3 of the class, week 4 of the class, in order to make sure you get up to 20 citations by the end of the term. Finally, a literature review and proposal are the final deliverables for the class. The literature review is a revision of your annotated bibliography, moving it from list form into paragraph form, into essay form. And that will not be handed in on its own. It will be handed in as part of your final research proposal, which is due at the end of the course. 10 to 15 pages or even a little more. You're going to be using Chicago Turabian style format. And we'll talk a lot about that as we get closer to the final paper. Moving into the weeks of the course, in week 1, we'll just be talking about what is research and how do we make research doable, and we'll be doing a few readings on that. Then in week 2, we look at some videos from our now former librarian, Tom Ipri, which he made last year for us, on how to use Zotero, how to do interlibrary loan, how to use a variety of different kinds of data that the library provides. And we'll be talking about our study habits on the discussion board. You'll want to download some theses from the AADM thesis archive and find some that you can read and comment on for your reflection paper. Then in week 3, we'll uncover what case studies are and start to talk about our purpose or problem statements. When you see these optional readings, these are prior theses or prior articles that are connected to the kinds of work you might do in your thesis. Feel free to peruse them. You don't have to read them thoroughly or even at all if you don't have the time. We then move into the methods part of the class in Unit 4, 5, and on, where we learn how to do interviews. In the first week, we'll learn about the art of interviewing, and then we'll talk about practice interviewing that we'll do by phone. And you'll notice that you're going to be meeting with me on Skype or on phone instead of doing a discussion board in week 5, so that you can, get a sense of where you are with your thesis topic, and I can individually advise you in that way. And as it says here, you're going to do a short interview with another member of class that week as well, and then hand it in before the following week begins. Then in Unit 6, we move into focus groups, which is an extension of interviews, and we will do a mock focus group online with members of the class. Then we move on to how to analyze and code your data, and there'll be a reflection paper that week, followed by turning in your annotated bibliography the following week as we get into 2 weeks on surveys and some work on how to write your literature review. Finally, in the last week of the term, you're going to do individual online or phone meetings with me once again to talk about your next steps once you've completed your proposal in terms of having an advisor and moving into the thesis completion process. Your final proposals, which are the assignment described at the top of the syllabus, will be due on December 9th, and then you'll be eligible to move forward and finish the thesis. So I hope that this explanation has been helpful to you. I am always available for any questions. Feel free to contact me and keep the communication up. It always helps me to know what you're thinking and what you need. And looking forward to the course.